This is Asharek Berha, an IDP currently sheltered at Sawakari IDP camp, who was forcibly displaced from Mai Kadra by the invading Amhara, Eritrean forces, and Fano Vigilante group. She says during the flee, she had to be separated from her family members and was forced to undergo brutal treatments and extrajudicial imprisonment by the Ethiopian forces.
We left our homes on November 9th of 2020 at 7 p.m. midnight due to the invasion of Fano Vigilante group. We split up and went our separate ways with the men and fled in different directions. Me and my daughter-in-law, who had given birth 3 days earlier, fled to the woods and slept there for 2 days. But at the second day, they found us. Afterwards, they took us and put us in prison.
Asharek says after getting arbitrarily imprisoned by the Ethiopian forces, they were being starved and went without enough food and water for as long as 2 months.
At the prison, they gave us nothing to eat or drink. We were eating some farmer's sesame that was forgotten in there. As a result, we were thirsty to death and they didn't give us water until the second week. On the second week, they gave us a bottle of water and bread for each of our family. After a month, the people who lived nearby started bringing food for us and we managed to survive that way for 2 months. Later on, the Ethiopian forces decided to set us free despite the Fano group's refusal. They took us and dropped us at the bridge of the Kaza River. They said, "Go and get something to eat by yourselves. This is no longer your land."
Although Asharek and her family were released after 2 months of imprisonment, her problems didn't end there. She had to face yet other tribulations because of the Eritrean forces. She had to spend 16 days in the woods hiding out and moved to 2 towns until she reached her destination in Shira.
Later, when we crossed the Tekaza bridge, the Eritrean forces started chasing us. We then ran again and stayed in the woods for the entire 16 days, begging for food to feed ourselves. But then again, the Eritrean troops found us after 16 days. They asked us what we were doing in the woods. We said that we had to flee because we were scared and that we had a woman who recently gave birth. That was when they threatened us to leave the place. Then we moved to Dedebit, and from there, we were forced to move to Shira and settle in an IDP camp. We came to this IDP camp after a year.
In addition to this, she explains how the rainy season has made it even more difficult for them, as water leaks through the plastic tents they live in and is threatening to destroy it.
There is almost no food supply. I have only received 15 kilograms of wheat for a solid 7 months. There's no medication at all. During rainy season, the water drips in through the plastic tents, ruining the place we live in.